You know what's wild? Fame looks like a dream until it starts feeling like a trap. And right now, no one's more trapped than Hailey Bieber. One minute, she's the quiet luxury it girl. The next, she's the internet's favorite headline. Every move gets dissected. Every word turns into a theory. And somehow, Selena Gomez's name always finds its way back into the story. But that's not all. It gets messier. This time, it's not just the usual shade or subtle rivalry. Oh no, this one cuts way deeper. Hailey finally broke her silence on a brand new podcast, and the internet wasn't ready for what came out of her mouth. She talked about Nepo baby privilege.
You are a Nepo baby?
Yeah, full-blown one.
Full-blown.
The whole Nepo conversation is really just a conversation about privilege.
Motherhood, marriage, and while she tried to play it cool, her words detonated across social media. But listen to this. The reason it blew up so fast? It wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. Because beneath that perfect PR polish and Instagram glow, people felt the tension. Something about her tone, her timing, just hit different. And it gets worse. When the internet noticed, it exploded. But here's where things get crazy. Fans are convinced Selena responded with shade. So what did Hailey actually say? Why do people think Selena clapped back? And how did one single emoji reignite Hollywood's most exhausting feud? Buckle up, because this story only gets wilder from here. It started with a question that's haunted her for years. So, you're a Nepo baby? Hailey didn't flinch. She laughed, nodded, and said it straight. Yeah, full-blown one. No denial, no defense. Just brutal honesty. For once, it felt real. Like she stopped trying to prove something, but then she took it further. And that's when people leaned in. She said the Nepo baby conversation isn't just about fame, it's about privilege. Awareness, she explained, is what matters. Knowing what you were born into and using it responsibly. And for a second, people respected it. Almost. Because right when it sounded authentic, the internet turned. Some said she was performing humility. Others said she was controlling the narrative before someone else could. But just when you think that's the end of it, she dropped another bomb. Hailey admitted she's bad at being famous. Yeah, bad at fame. I feel really bad at it all the time, she confessed. Cue thousands of comments. How could someone living a designer-clad red carpet life be bad at fame? But here's the twist. She's not bad at fame itself. She's bad at surviving the noise that comes with it. Every post becomes proof of something. Every smile becomes shade. For a moment, her honesty worked. She looked human again. But then she brought up something even more personal. And that's when things really spiraled. Because this next topic, it wasn't about privilege. It was about motherhood. To most people, fame looks like freedom. Lights, luxury, endless opportunity. But when Hailey talked about it, you could hear the exhaustion hiding in her voice. And then it got darker. Imagine every outfit, every blink, every pause becoming a headline. You breathe wrong and someone calls it shade. You try to explain yourself, and it only makes things worse. Hailey didn't say it outright, but she's tired. Tired of being compared. Tired of being defined by her husband's fame. She said something that stuck. Fame isn't natural. It's not meant for anyone to carry forever. That line hit different, because it's true. The constant attention turns from validation to surveillance. And once it starts, it never stops. But wait, it gets even more personal. Because as she's trying to separate her public life from her private one, there's one thing she refuses to let the internet touch. Her role as a mom. The moment Hailey opened up about motherhood, everything changed. And not in the way she hoped. Her tone softened, but the internet didn't. Hailey opened up about becoming a mom in the spotlight. And the backlash was instant. People called her a part-time parent, mocked Justin for gaming instead of changing diapers, and turned her motherhood into clickbait. But that's when Hailey flipped the script. She said just because fans don't see her with her baby doesn't mean she's not there. It's intentional, privacy by choice. She and Justin decided their child won't be part of the circus. No photos, no baby brand drops, no content. And she owned it. I'm not ashamed to say I have full-time help. I couldn't do what I do without it. But here's where it gets polarizing. That honesty hit a nerve. Some praised her transparency. Others called it tone deaf. But either way, she wasn't pretending anymore. For once, Hailey wasn't hiding behind PR polish. She was raw, real, relatable, for about 5 minutes. Because right as people started softening toward her, a rumor dropped that turned everything upside down. Just when the internet started to chill, boom! A rumor hit. Hailey Bieber is secretly managing Justin's career. Yeah, you heard that right. Fans actually believed she'd taken over Scooter Braun's role behind the scenes. And it gets crazier. There were fake insider posts, charts, and wild timelines connecting every move she'd ever made. When asked about it on the podcast, Hailey literally laughed. "There's no world where I'm managing my husband," she said. "That would be a nightmare." But denial didn't stop the fire, because conspiracy thrives on chaos. Fans said her brand launch timing proved it. Others claimed she was pulling strings behind Justin's PR. And just when you think it couldn't get weirder, it does. Because this rumor opened the door to something even more explosive, a theory that links straight back to Selena Gomez. You'd think by now the internet would be done comparing Hailey and Selena, but nope. It only takes one quote to restart the war. And this time, the battlefield wasn't love, it was beauty brands. Hailey finally addressed the rumor that she wanted to name her line Bieber Beauty. She said no, it was always Rhode, her middle name, personal, family, hers. But then, here's where it gets juicy. People dug up old trademark files, claiming she did try to use Bieber Beauty. They accused her of rewriting history. And just when she tried to clean that up, she said something else that lit a fire. In a past interview, she said, "I'm most competitive with myself. I don't feel competitive with people I'm not inspired by." It was meant to sound empowering, but fans heard shade, especially since Selena's rare beauty sits right next to Rhode in the same stores. And just like that, social media went nuclear. Then, out of nowhere, Selena posted, "Just leave the girl alone. Be kind. There's room for everyone." But listen to this. No tags, no names, just timing. Was it defense? Was it shade? Nobody knew. And that confusion? It's the fuel the internet lives on. Still, the wildest twist hadn't even happened yet. Because one single emoji was about to restart everything. It started with one TikTok. Harmless, funny, forgettable, no drama, no shade. But then, boom! Fans claimed Rare Beauty's official account dropped heart eye emojis in the comments. 2 tiny emojis, 1 massive explosion. Screenshots flew everywhere. Timelines, edits, theories. Was it real? Fake? A social media intern's slip-up? No one could prove it. But that didn't stop the chaos. Hashtag Selena vs. Hailey started trending again. Some called it petty. Others said it was a PR hit. And the craziest part? Neither woman said a word. Silence. Total, deafening silence. But here's the thing. When 2 of the most followed women in the world go quiet, the noise only gets louder. Every emoji becomes a weapon. Every pause becomes a clue. And that's when people started whispering something even bigger. Maybe, just maybe, this wasn't random. Because here's the deal. The internet doesn't believe in coincidence. Especially not when it comes to Hailey and Selena. The Rare Beauty comment happened days after Hailey's podcast trended worldwide. Fans started calling it promo warfare. Every time one woman trends, the other somehow ends up back in the headlines. Selena drops a song, Hailey's brand goes viral. Hailey gives an interview, Rare Beauty's name magically resurfaces. Coincidence? Or calculated chaos? Some fans swear both PR teams are playing chess, using drama for buzz. Others believe they're just trying to live while fan armies twist everything into competition. Either way, the timing's too perfect. But that's the thing about fame. Confusion keeps people watching. Every silence becomes suspicious. Every emoji becomes evidence. And while everyone was decoding shade, Hailey was doing something no one expected. Nothing. No cryptic quotes, no deletes, no clapbacks. She just went silent. And that silence? It said more than any post ever could. After weeks of chaos, something finally clicked. Hailey wasn't ignoring the noise. She was surrendering to it. Sources close to her say she's accepted what most stars can't. "This drama isn't going away," she told friends. "It's out of my hands now. People will always connect us." And that line, simple, sad, exhausted, hit different. Because at some point, your name stops belonging to you. You become a storyline. Hailey's realized it's not a feud. It's a system, a machine that thrives on rivalry and turns women into headlines. And she's done playing that game. Now she's building her brand quietly, raising her baby privately, and refusing to feed the drama. That silence? It's not defeat. It's power. But don't get too comfortable, because the world isn't done watching. Maybe the truth is, this was never just about Hailey or Selena. It's about us. A culture that turns celebrity into spectacle and spectacle into addiction. Because no matter how many times they move on, we refresh. Every emoji, every rumor, every silence becomes another headline. Hailey speaks, it's shade. Selena blinks, it's a response. And the scariest part? We keep watching. Because fame doesn't just make people famous, it makes them characters. And once you're a character, the internet decides your storyline. So maybe the real question isn't who's to blame. Maybe it's why can't we look away? Because deep down, we already know the cycle never ends.